Hello ladies and gents, welcome back. The ATP circus is back in full swing and this year's first Grand Slam starts in the beginning of next week. We have the Australian Open, one of four big majors. And like you all know, when it's Grand Slams, I always do a preview video and videos during the Grand Slam tournament, and nothing has changed. I'm gonna do the same this year. I'm gonna go through my picks and candidates, the guys that I think will go deep in this tournament, the guys that's gonna reach the second week. I will do a top 8 list in this video with my thoughts and analysis of the tennis players that's gonna reach the second week and who's gonna reach the quarterfinals, etc. and finally who's gonna reach the trophy. And this year we have most of the professional players that you can find out there. We only miss Roger Federer. I certainly miss him. Many of the tennis fans around the world miss him because he's such a great player. No further introduction. But we still have the creme de la creme left here with Djoko, Nadal, and a bunch of other guys who's knocking on the door. Some of them have already one of their feet into the room. The door is wide open now. It's just for these guys to come out and deliver, especially at Grand Slam events, because none of Nadal, Djokovic and Federer are invincible players. It's not like they are unbeatable, but we have to see them get beaten more in Grand Slams, and that's the biggest test. That's the biggest scene in the tennis world. That's where you really get a receive for your hard work and your talent. And because today's tennis players, everyone has a incredible technique and consistency from the baseline because the game is so similar. But if you want to stay on top and be better than everybody, you have to be more aggressive. You have to attack more and be more brave. Because it's not all about shot tolerance from the baseline. You have to come up with something special. And these big three, they have been special since they entered the tour. They have dominated this tennis circuit for almost 2 decades. If you start with Roger and then Rafa and Djokovic, they have totally taken this sport to another level. And they make each other better with their fierce competition, and they always set the bars and standard higher. And that's why many of the other talents have big difficulties to keep up with these big giants. Toe to toe, they are so difficult to keep up with. Their pace, their experience, everything. They have extra gears. They have different shot in their different tools in their toolbox. So without Roger here, we have Rafael Nadal and Djokovic from the old school, I would say. We have the so-called ex-next gen players with guys like Nishikori are still here, Cilic, Monfils, Dimitrov. I'm not expecting them to reach deep. I will be very surprised if any of those guys reach the second week. And we have the next gen after them. We have team Zverev, Rublev, Medvedev. And then we have the next gen, so-called next gen players. Now Tsitsipas has advanced to the league of Medvedev, Zverev and Rublev. We have Yannick Sinner, we have Corbeas, we have, not Corbeas, I'm sorry, I mixed it up. We have Shapovalov, Aliassime, we have Alcaraz, we have a bunch of young players, Diminaur, that are knocking on this, on the door here. We have solid players like Berrettini, and the old all-round players like RBA and PCB and etc. We have new players like Humbert or exciting players, but we will see what's happening in this tournament. It's here when you're gonna show that you mean serious business. So let's dig into this draw. I'm gonna go backwards. First, I'm gonna go into the 4 guys that I think that will reach the quarterfinals, and on my number 8 spot, I have. This is a very big surprise for me, maybe for you too. It's a bold guess. I will not bet my money on this dude. I'm not 100% sure. Maybe I'm crazy, maybe I don't know what I'm doing. I have predicted so many tennis tournaments in my life, and this guy is a brave and bold guess. He sure has the talent, he sure has the tools, but he doesn't have the shot tolerance, he doesn't have the mindset, he doesn't have the ability to construct and pull the trigger on right time. He can fade away from matches. He showed a glimpse of his huge game in the end of last season, where he played very well, and that guy is a guy that has talked both positive and negative things about, and that is Denis Shapovalov. I called him Santavalov after his loss in the French Open. I called him Denis Santavalov because he is very capable of producing high octane tennis, but he is also very capable of beating himself. It's a 50-50 chance of either you get a superb tennis from this guy or you get a real bad performance with a lot of unforced errors. And then Shapovalov is a tricky lefty with a huge forehand swing. He has great backhand when it works. If it doesn't crack, it's very solid. He has great short selections, but his short tolerance and, like I told you, his ability to construct and play this game of tennis like chess is way under the radar for a standard player of his caliber, who's supposed to be ranked around 20. So Shapovalov has still time on his side. He has still time to develop. And my lucky guess, this is a guess because he meets Jannik Sinner in the first round. And Sinner have reached the final here in this Melbourne Summer Tournament, a pre-tournament before Australian Open. He's going to meet his fellow countryman Travaglia there. He beat Khachanov in a set tight battle. So he will take on Denis Shapovalov. Why do I think Denis Shapovalov will beat Jannik Sinner? I'm not 100% sure. This is just a gut feeling. I believe that Shapovalov can come up with more on court, but Jannik Sinner is a superb hitter. He's tall, powerful ground strokes. He hit hard from the baseline, his backhand down the line, his forehand, cross-court forehand. His shot tolerance is super great for this young age. So he will be maybe a number one in the future. I will not be surprised if he takes the number one spot in the future. I will not be surprised if Jannik Sinner does that, and I will definitely not be surprised if he takes out Shapovalov in straight sets. But this is just my gut feeling. I'm not 100% sure, and I will definitely not bet my money on him. And Shapovalov's path to the quarterfinals, it starts with Jannik Sinner. And in the second round, he will probably meet Bernard Tomic if he can get past the second round. And then he has Aliassime, his countryman, in the third round. And then Schwartzman if he takes himself to the fourth round. So he has a pretty tough draw than Shapovalov. And I think that it's time for him. He has played in ATP Cup. He hasn't super convinced me, but he's met Novak Djokovic. He took him to 2 tight sets there. I believe him, even though I don't believe him in this time. But anyway, Shapovalov is on my number 8 spot. And on my number 7 spot is the hard-hitting Russian Rublev, who has Hansman in the first round, I think. He would then go on to meet the Brazilian Monteiro in the second round. And then after that, I think he will face Lucas Sonego. And in the fourth round, his first big test comes in RBA. If RBA can take himself to the fourth round, he hasn't looked that super great in the ATP Cup. In the ATP Cup campaign, he has given some and taken some, but he's not as rock solid. But we know that he's a superb all-court player. He's a counter-puncher, so he can definitely take Rublev into a 5-set battle for sure. So Rublev have Hansman, Monteiro, Sonego, and probably RBA in the fourth round. One of the hottest players last year. Rublev has a huge forehand. He has a great serve. He has played convincingly this year. So in the ATP Cup, he has won all of his matches convincingly, even hasn't put up in a super great test yet, but he lost a set in his match yesterday at the ATP Cup. I forgot who we played against, but he was the guy that improved most last year. I think he won 5 titles last year. He reached the 4th round last year at the Australian Open. So he's there. He's with the big guys. He's with the top 8 guys. And that's why he played in the ATP finals, but he didn't do much there. He had a pretty tough opponents there. So I will put Andrei Rublev with probably when his forehands work, he has the best hard-hitting forehand on the tour. On my number 6 spot, I have a guy that I believe in so much, a guy that reminds me of Roger Federer, aesthetic, a watchable, enjoyable player, a guy that reminds me of Roger Federer in his younger days. He has a backhand that is solid but not okay. He has to improve his backhand. He has to improve his forehand. He has a great forehand. He's a great spot server. He has developed his serving game and taken his game to a new height. Has a semi-final as the best spotter in Australian Open. He won the ATP Finals 2019, and that guy is no more than Stefanos Tsitsipas, the young Greek who has been yet another year has passed. He has gotten more mature now. He knows that he competes with these big guys, but I want to see more from him here at ATP, at this Australian Open Grand Slam event. Can he reach the second week? Of course, because if you look at this draw, he has Gilles Simon in the first round. He has Kokkinakis probably in the second round. He has the Polish guy Hurkacz in the third round, and will probably meet a player in superb form, Matteo Berrettini. That's his first big test. So Simon, Kukushkin, Gilles Simon, Kokkinakis, Hurkacz and Berrettini stand in his way of reaching the second week. But the young Greek is full of energy. He has looked superbly good in this few matches that's played in the ATP Cup. I believe in him. I believe that he will reach the second week without any problems. But if Berrettini plays like he has done in the ATP Cup at Australian Open, he will for sure give Stefanos a great run for his money, a real run for his money. But Tsitsipas has looked pretty in super shape, what I've seen. But it's another task to playing Grand Slam contra to ATP Cups. You play for a country, you're more patriotic. You want to show your country that you are the man, that this country's pride is on your shoulder. And guys like Nadal has always put in his country in the first place. Guys like Djokovic, you see them when they play, they are not satisfied of doing half matches. They go all in, even if it's ATP Cup. All right, on my 5th spot, who do I have there? I have Alexander Saschasvarev. I put him as this high because with Sasha you never know. He was in the semi-final last year, played solid tennis. He has a great first serve, a terrible second serve. He's Mr. Double Fault. His second serve is his biggest rival. He is capable of beating himself. Look what it is in the previous match in ATP Cup. He double fault in crucial moments. That's his problem. His second serve is too weak. I don't know if it's something that locks in his head. If you look at the top 8 players, the top 10, he is the guy that has the worst second serve if you can measure up like that. So Zverev, he has Giron, a French dude, in his first round. He has Taro Daniel probably in the second round if he advances there. And then he has a tricky player in the third round, Manarino. And then he has Gael Monfils, who always starts the year great. Look through his career, he always starts the year tremendously good. Look at last year, he won 2 finals before he lost that final in Dubai, or was it 1 final? The year before he won in Rotterdam. I think he won Rotterdam last year also. So Gael Monfils is a clown, like I told in many of my videos. He has he's the one of the most talented players on tour. But he doesn't has tennis mind like the other guys. Even he has done a great career so far. So I will count with Monfils to reach the fourth round, where he's gonna play against Zverev. You never know with Zverev. Zverev has been more solid lately. He has played more solid in 2020. He got to his first Grand Slam final. He lost the US Open. He was 2 sets up. He lost the team at the semi-final at the Australian Open last year. He has done some great progress. He won the, I think he lost the Masters final against Medvedev at Paris. He has done some great results, but with Zverev, you never know. He's capable of making things, very capable of making things very difficult for himself, because he has a serve. This hard court suits his game. He has great first serve, great forehand, super great backhand down the line. He's very flexible with his backhand. He has great shot tolerance with the backhand. Same with his forehand. He go into these duels. He can create something on court with his from both wings. Actually, he's super great from that. All right, on my fourth place, who do I have in my fourth place? I have Daniil Medvedev. Why do I have Daniil Medvedev there? Because he is one of the 4 best guys. He has shown that. He showed it at the ATP Tour finals. He won the ATP Tour finals convincingly. He beat all of the best guys there. He beat Thiem, he beat Nadal, he beat Djokovic, he beat Rublev there. He won the ATP Masters in Paris before the tournament. So he's come fresh with 2 straight victories. Even though his 2020 year didn't start good, it was a tail end of the season where he woke up and exploded like a dynamite, exploded and won 2 titles. He's here in the Australian Open. He has reached the 4th round at his best. These conditions are difficult because it's pretty hot there. You have to consider the weather. In US Open, you have the humidity. The air is different there, but here is just a burning sun. I don't know if it's as hot as in January, but it's still hot. It's gonna be tough for the players. You have to consider that too. And Medvedev has actually a difficult draw. He has Pospisil in the first round, a guy that he has lost to. He has 2-1 in the head-to-head against him. In the second round, he has Corbeya, Baena, and in the third round, he will probably face a tricky player, Filip Krajinovic. The head-to-head there is 1-0 in favor for Krajinovic. And in the fourth round, if this guy goes there, he's gonna cause some trouble for Medvedev. It's Bona Coric. They have met 7 times. Coric has won 4 of them. Medvedev 3. Medvedev beat him at Wimbledon. I forgot which year. He won against him. He's one of his few Grand Slam victories at Wimbledon. But Coric beat him at US Open. I forgot which year, if it was 2018. I think he beat him in 2018. So Coric, if he goes to the 4th round, he has everything in the toolbox, but except the big serve and winners. Otherwise, he's a great player, a tricky player. You have to work hard to hit through Coric. Like I told you, most of the players have incredible consistency and technique, but if you attack, if you're brave, pull the trigger, you can defeat Coric, and we all know that. Medvedev is a ball machine. He barely makes mistakes. His backhand is top solid. It's very reliable. You barely see him making mistakes. His forehand can crack sometimes. He has a great first and second serve. He has a great returning game. He has a great mindset. He plays tennis like chess, like Mats Wilander did. Not in the same pace. His style is very unorthodox if you compare his swings on both wings. But he's so solid. So it's gonna take something extra to get through Daniil Medvedev, who I put in the 4th place, and that means he will reach the semi-final. And if he does that, he has done what I expected. If he goes further than that, he has done more than I expected. It will be great for him to continue on this great streak that he has. But it's Grand Slam now. He has never passed through the 4th round, like I told you. So if he does more than that, he has done more than I expected. Yeah, he set high goals for himself. I know he's come here to Australia, to Melbourne, to win this tournament, of course, like all the players. Otherwise, why are you there if you're not a competitive sportsman? All right, on my first spot, who will I have on my first spot? So now we have coming to the top 3 guys. One of these guys is gonna lift the trophy, of course, not the number 3 or not the number 2 in the second one. So on my 8th place I have Shapovalov, 7th I have Rublev, on the 6th place I have Tsitsipas, on my 5th place I have Zverev, on my 4th place I have Daniel Medvedev. This was very tough for me. I looked at the draw. Both of the top 3 guys have similar easy path to the second week. This could be either way. It's very difficult for me to predict this one. So on my number 3 spot, I'm just gonna go with my gut feeling. I could be very wrong. I can be very right. I can eat up my words. Maybe some of his fans will attack me on my comment section. I don't care. I'm not here to make friends. I'm not here to kiss somebody in the buttocks. I'm here to give my honest opinion. I've been many times wrong. Look at my French Open prediction. I thought that Novak will defeat Nadal. I ate up my words there. And this time on my 3rd place, I will have Novak Djokovic. Even though if you look at the paper, he is really the man to beat at the Australian Open. He has won this tournament 8 times. It's his favorite Grand Slam. When he reaches the semi-finals, he always goes on to win the tournaments. The other has taken huge steps. I'm not sure about this. I will definitely not put the dime against Novak Djokovic, but I have to make this list. I have to choose somebody, and I will choose Novak Djokovic in the 3rd place. And that's not based on the draw, of course, because when he reaches the second week, he will always have tough opponents against him. In the first round, he has Chardy, a French dude. If he wakes up on the right side, he can probably take a set from Novak, but I don't believe that. In the second round, it's either TFO or Travaglia. Travaglia plays the Melbourne ATP 200 final against Sinner today or tomorrow, I think. And in the 3rd round, he will probably meet Riley, Opelka, a serve boot that is benefited from this hard, fast courts. He can probably cause some damage, but we all know that who is the best returner in the business is Novak Djokovic. Who is the guys that never takes his mental flag down? It's Novak Djokovic. Who is the most fierce player on tour of collecting titles together with Rafa Nadal and Roger Federer? Is Novak Djokovic. Who has the highest level on tour right now? It's Novak Djokovic. Who has the highest low level? It's Rafael Nadal. So, Chardy in the 1st round. I think Travaglia will beat TFO and advance to meet Novak Djokovic. And then he has Riley Opelka in the 3rd round. In the 4th round, one of these 2 guys, I think it would be Milos Raonic or Stan the Man Wawrinka. You never know. He pulled out in this ATP tournament in Melbourne. I don't know his status. We know that he's not in full shape, Stan Wawrinka. It's not the old Wawrinka, but he beat Novak Djokovic at the US Open 2019. We know what he's capable when he made Novak Djokovic. They always play great matches. And his backhand is solid, and he can put his unforced errors numbers down. He will take out Raonic in the 3rd round and advance to the 4th round. Same goes for Raonic. He serves great, and he's fast on his feet. In the 3rd shot, Raonic will defeat Wawrinka, I think, and meet Novak. But if Novak meets Raonic, it was me is an easy task for Djokovic. I think at his most, Djokovic will maximum drop a set against Wawrinka and Raonic. But I'm more concerned about if he meets Wawrinka, because if Wawrinka reaches the fourth round without any injuries, he will sure make Novak Djokovic struggle and earn the victory. But with Wawrinka, you never know. He's hot and he's cold. It's the same with many of the players on the tour, like Shapovalov, Kyrgios, Paire, Bernat Paire, who has a mental strength of his mental strength is fragile as a snowflake. We have Kyrgios, we have Shapovalov. Those players are not famous to have great mental stability. All right, on to the second spot. Who do I think will reach the final and lose the final? It's the guy that meets Laslo Djere in the first round and probably takes on Viktor Troicki, the Serbian dude, in the second round. And in the third round, he will take on Evans. And in the fourth round, I think it's either Fognini or De Minaur. Who is this guy? It's nobody else but Rafael Nadal, El Toro, who is out here to collect his second trophy. He has reached so many semifinals here. He has lost so many finals at the Australian Open. So much is on stake for Rafael Nadal. He is here to complete his career Grand Slam twice. If he wins Australian Open, he has won all the Grand Slam twice. I think I can only remember Rod Laver has done that before. If he wins the tournament, he will pass Roger Federer and collect his 21st Grand Slam. So much is on stake for Rafael Nadal. And his opponents, Djere, Troicki, I don't know how to pronounce his name, Evans, Fognini or De Minaur, they are appetizers for him. He eats every competition for breakfast in his first week. You will never find a guy that dismantles his opponent so easily in the first week as Rafael Nadal. You will never see a guy that controls the baseline and mid-court better than Rafael Nadal. You can never find a guy that come up with the goods when it's most necessary, under pressure, especially better than Nadal and Djokovic. He's a bankable player, Nadal. Djokovic a bankable player. Zverev and team and Medvedev have started to be bankable players. You can trust them. You can believe in them. They are consistent enough to reach the second week. Rafa, I have never seen a guy. He has the highest low level of every player. He's the best player when it comes to the first 3 points of executing to take control and win. Rafa Nadal, if you have watched my video, he doesn't need any presentation. I don't have to go into why he's the best, but why he's so good. Some say, oh, hard court is not his cup of tea. He has only won Australian Open 1 time. He has lost 4 finals, I think, here. Maybe 5, I'm not 100% sure. 4 I can remember. 1 against Roger, 2 against Djokovic, 1 against Wawrinka when he has to retire. So Rafael Nadal, he's not just a clay court player, guys. He's not just good on grass and hard court. He's good on every surface. He's great at every match because he plays every point like a match point. That's why he reaches so deep in every tournament, year after year. I've never seen more consistent players through. Look at when he entered the ATP circus. He almost started to deliver from the first match he played. So he's out here to take the 21st Grand Slam. Because when the big three players play, you have to work extra hard to get out of the grip because they are so experienced. They have the depth in their big cuts. They will punish you as soon as they get a chance, and they are waiting for the right moment. They are ready when they are ready. They are ready to pull the trigger at the right point. And Rafa Nadal, the most consistent guy in our tour, is a guy that every year you think, when he's gonna drop his level? He's injured here, he's injured there. When he's gonna go down? He's never gonna go down. He will quit on his own terms. You can't beat him. He's more vulnerable on the fast hard courts. We have seen him, but you still have to come up with something extra to defeat Rafael Nadal, and that's why I think he reached the final, because he will take on the Greek in the quarterfinal, and in the semifinal he will take on Daniil Medvedev and win that match. I really think that he's gonna beat all of these guys. Tsitsipas, I think he's up 5-6-1 in head-to-head. Look what he did to Tsitsipas in Australian Open 2019. He schooled him. It was like he played the junior in that match. So it's gonna be difficult. And now on my number one spot, who do I believe win this tournament? It's a guy that has huge potential. He got huge cuts on his both wings. He has a superb second serve, a kick serve that he uses. He's a spot server also, like I told you about Tsitsipas. He has superior firepower when it works. When his ground strokes doesn't crack. This guy is unbeatable. He's unplayable. He hits the ball so hard. He's a physical beast. He has good movement on court, like Djokovic. He has a great first serve, like I told you. He has a mindset that is not out of this world, but great. I wish that he has a little bit better mental strength, and that's why he has lost so many major. And that guy is Dominic Thiem, the Austrian Terminator, the Dominator, who will take on Kukushkin in the first round. In the second round, I think he'll meet a German guy named Köpfer if he reaches there. In the third round, his first tricky test starts. It's either Nick Kyrgios, a guy that you never know. When he wakes up on the right side, he can wipe the field of everybody, but I'm not convinced in him like I before. Or the young Schwartzman, he's like a Schwartzman. The lefty from France, Hugo Humbert, who has improved, one of the few players that improved most, one of the top sensations from the last year. If he reaches the third round, he can take one set from Thiem, I think. And in the fourth round, if he reaches there, Thiem will take on RBA, who is not a newbie. He's not a new kid on the block. He's an all-court player. He has potential, but hasn't looked super shape. He is good at everything, but doesn't have this firepower that can create 3 points like Dominic Thiem have. Dominic Thiem, if he wants to win this tournament, you know, he has to get past his four first rounds. He has to take on Shapovalov in the first quarter, a guy that they have met 3 times before. He has won all of those meetings, and then you have to probably take on Novak Djokovic in the semifinal, because I believe that Novak Djokovic will be against Zverev. He's 4-2 up head-to-head. But I would not be surprised if Sasha's serves works and his backhand works. He can take Novak to a 5-set battle, but I'm not 100% sure. But I think that Dominic Thiem will take on Novak Djokovic. It's better for him to take on Novak Djokovic in the semifinal, because if Novak reaches the final, he will win this tournament for sure. I can see either Nadal or Tsitsipas or Medvedev take out Novak if he reaches the final. Because if he reaches final, he has never lost a final here. I'm convinced that nobody can take out Novak Djokovic if he reaches the final. That's my opinion. That's my honest opinion. But Dominic Thiem, to win this tournament, he will take on. He has to beat both Novak Djokovic and Rafael Nadal. And what better time is it to do? He beat Rafael Nadal last year at the quarterfinal in one of the last year's best and memorable matches. 4 tight sets. I think that match was in 4 tight sets. But then he was so close of taking out Novak in the final. But Novak resurrected and the year went out. He was mentally tougher. Team got tired. Novak played better when it most matters. Some say that Novak didn't deserve that victory. In my opinion, he deserved it because he won the last point and he played better in the last 5 games, and that's why he won the trophy. Novak wanted to win the trophy more than Thiem did. But this year I think it's opposite. Thiem will lift the trophy, will beat Nadal again in a 4th set tight battle, not 5-setter. If this match goes to a 5-set, Nadal will have the advantage. Thiem's chances to win is 3 straight sets or in 4th set. But I will not be super surprised if Rafael Nadal take him out. Based on my facts before the tournament, I give Nadal 49% and Thiem 51% of winning the match. So it's even Steven here. But I think that it's time for Thiem. So Thiem will be the champion of Australian Open 2021. I would not be surprised if Nadal, Djokovic, Medvedev, or even Tsitsipas lifts the trophy. But any name other except those names, surprise. We have upsets alerts, dark horses. You can name it whatever you want. I will put my own a couple of players. PCB, RBA, Hugo Humbert, Yannick Sinner, maybe Diminaur, I'm not believing in him, Choric, and my last, a real dark horse, Matteo Berrettini. If he can take out Tsitsipas, he has his huge serve to rely on if he meets Nadal in the quarterfinal, but I don't believe that he's reached maximum the quarterfinal. So, my pick for the winner, Dominic Thiem. My 2nd spot, Nadal. 3rd spot, Djokovic. 4th spot, Medvedev. 5th spot, Zverev. On number 6, I picked the Greek, Tsitsipas. On my number 7 spot, Andrei Rublev. And on my number 8 spot, my bold guess, Denis Shapovalov. I wish you a great tournament, everybody. Take care and bye-bye.